Hello students, in this module we'll be learning about food chain. Children, food chain shows how each living thing gets food, right? And how nutrients and energies are passed from creature to creature. Children, when we eat food, we get the energy from the food, we get the nutrients, and these nutrients and energy are passed from creature to creature. They form a chain. Now, food chains begins with plant life and end with animal life. Children, as you all are aware, there are animals. In our last module, we have studied the categories herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. So, there are the categories of animals. There are animals who eat plants, and some other animals, they depend on other animals, right? They eat their flesh. So, a simple food chain, it could be like it starts with a grass, for example, and grass is eaten by rabbits, and rabbits in turn are eaten by the other animals like fox, you all can say tigers, vultures, hawk, right? So it forms a food chain. Now children, in our last slide we studied that food chain always begins with a plant, right? Why? Because plants makes their own food, right? Plant, they don't need or depend on the other animals for their food. They make their own food. So the food chain always starts with a plant, and we all can say that all the animals depends on plants directly or indirectly, right? Now rabbit eats grass, right? So rabbit is dependent on this plants, and if rabbit will survive, the other rabbit eating animals will survive because rabbit is there and rabbit is eating the grass. So directly or indirectly, all the animals, they are dependent on plants. Now children, you all can see on your screen the diagram of a food chain. Now here the grass is eaten by the grasshoppers. You all can see the arrow mark. Now the grasshoppers are eaten by the mice, and the mice in turn is eaten by the eagles. Now children, when the eagles, when they die, the microorganisms break the bodies down and turns into nutrients. Children, these nutrients along with sun and water cause the grass to grow. This helps the plants and the grasses to grow. So children, you all can see how the energy, how the nutrients are passed from one creature to another, right? When the eagle dies, the organism breaks the bodies down, and children, it forms the nutrients. Now these nutrients along with sun and water, they helps the plants to grow. So you all can see in the food chain how the energy, how the nutrients, they pass from creature to creature. Now children, here in the question slide, you need to form a food chain with the following: now children, tiger, deer and cat. Food chain was the last topic of our lesson, food and feeding habits of animals. Children, in our last two modules, we studied about the different kinds of food that animals eat. We have studied the categories of animals like herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. You all are aware that herbivores are the plant-eating animals and carnivores are the flesh-eating animals, and omnivores are the animals which can eat both, right? Plants and the other animals. Then we studied about how animals eat, the flesh eating, the animals which are dependent on the plants. Then we studied about gnaws, right? The animals who all eat grains. Then we studied about the animals which are dependent on liquid. We studied about pet animals, domestic animals. Thank you children.